That sharp thud of a full-sized toiletry bag hitting the confiscation bin. It's a sound that's become all too familiar to me, a sort of percussive lament for misinformed travelers. It was October 10th, 2026, a Friday morning, and Mr. David Chen, a 46-year-old marketing executive, heard that very sound at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport near Gate A21. He was racing against the clock for American Airlines Flight 187, bound for Chicago O'Hare, a crucial meeting looming. The frustration radiating from him was almost visible, a shimmering heat above his head. David had just flown in from Raleigh-Durham International, and there, at RDU, he'd breezed through security. His lotions, his gels, his full-sized toothpaste all remained casually tucked into his carry-on. No separate baggie, no measurements.
RDU, you see, is one of the airports that had fully embraced the future, equipped with those cutting-edge computed tomography, or CT, scanners. These sophisticated devices create a three-dimensional image, allowing security officers to rotate and inspect the contents of a bag with unparalleled clarity. For travelers like David, this meant a significant relaxation of the long-standing, often vexing 311 rule. He'd consumed countless online posts and news snippets, all celebrating the imminent, or so he thought, end of the 311 rule by 2026. The narrative was pervasive. Liquid restrictions were a thing of the past. He believed it wholeheartedly. Why wouldn't he? His experience at Raleigh-Durham just moments before seemed to validate every article, every blog post. It felt like progress, like common sense finally winning out.
But what David hadn't fully grasped, what so many travelers miss, is that the transition to these advanced security protocols wasn't a sudden, universal flip of a switch. It was, and still largely is, a sprawling, intricate patchwork system. TSA security officer Rodriguez, a man with 15 years on the job, stood calmly at the checkpoint. His voice, though even and professional, carried the weary authority of someone who delivered this exact explanation countless times. He wasn't unsympathetic. He'd seen this play out thousands of times. Rodriguez patiently reiterated that while some checkpoints at Hartsfield-Jackson, Atlanta, did now boast advanced imaging technology, David's specific lane number 12, was still operating with the older, legacy, two-dimensional X-ray machines. These machines, while perfectly functional for their intended purpose, are simply incapable of performing the volumetric analysis that newer CT scanners offer. They can't provide the detailed, three-dimensional views necessary to differentiate between benign and illicit liquids when they exceed the established volume limits. This is where David's information delusion truly hit home. He had taken a partial truth that some airports or even some lanes within an airport no longer strictly enforced the legacy liquid protocol and extrapolated it into a universal truth. He assumed dangerously that a rule being temporary in one location meant it was temporary everywhere. Instead of checking the specific airport's TSA "What Can I Bring" tool, a quick visit to the website or a call could have clarified everything. That single proactive step could have saved him time, money, and significant stress. The procedural pathology here is fascinating. The system at its core is designed for safety, for the layered defense of our aviation network. Where the advanced tools are in place, the protocols can adapt, becoming more efficient and less intrusive. But where the technology simply isn't present, The older, more stringent rules must remain in force. The lack of universal advanced imaging technology, AIT, rollout isn't due to bureaucratic malice. It's a colossal logistical and financial undertaking. It involves massive infrastructure upgrades, training, and careful integration. Until every single lane at every single airport is equipped with these CT scanners, the old rules, like persistent ghosts, will continue to haunt unsuspecting travelers. David's rush to catch his connecting flight, already tied at a mere 45 minutes, was now critically jeopardized. The unexpected hiccup at security had eaten up valuable minutes. Now, he faced the unenviable task of purchasing grossly overpriced toiletries from an airport convenience store on the other side of security, all while trying to make it to his gate. This single incident perfectly illustrates a critical lesson for any traveler in 2026. The rules are evolving, but not uniformly. What might seem temporary in one spot could still be very much permanent in another, simply because the technology hasn't caught up. Some airports, or even specific terminals within the same airport, were simply faster to implement advanced screening than others. So, what's the takeaway here? How do you avoid David's predicament? First, always verify, never assume. Before you even pack your bag, check the Transportation Security Administration's website for the specific airport and terminal you'll be flying from. Look for any updates on their screening technology. Second, when in doubt, default to the safest, most conservative option. Abide by the 3-1-1 rule. Place your liquids, aerosols, and gels in a quart-sized bag, limiting each container to 3.4 ounces. Third, allow yourself ample time for security, especially when making a connection. A minimum of 2 hours for domestic flights and 3 for international isn't just a suggestion, it's a buffer against the unforeseen. Knowledge is your most potent tool in air travel. It empowers you to navigate the complexities, to understand the why behind the rules, and to anticipate potential hurdles. Don't let a partial truth lead you down a frustrating path. The aviation world is constantly evolving, and staying informed is the difference between a smooth journey and that disheartening thud in the confiscation bin. Your preparation is your power. Use it wisely. The low, almost imperceptible click of the biometric camera confirmed Ms. Sarah Miller's identity. It was March 15, 2027, a Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock. For many, that sound might pass unnoticed, a mere technical detail in the blur of travel. But for those of us who scrutinize the intricacies of air travel, who see beyond the surface hustle to the underlying mechanisms of security, that soft click represented a paradigm shift, a testament to preparedness. Sarah, a 32-year-old travel photographer from Boulder, Colorado, was not just passing through Los Angeles International Airport, or LAX. She was smoothly transitioning through a dedicated automated identity verification lane, headed for her United Airlines Flight 705, departing at 11 o'clock in the morning for Dallas-Fort Worth, or DFW. Her experience stood in stark contrast to the frustrated travelers I often encounter, the ones caught off guard by evolving regulations. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Security isn't only about what you carry in your 1-quart-sized bag. It is about proving exactly who you are. Sarah understood this foundational truth, a principle often overlooked by those who see airport security as a mere obstacle course rather than a critical system. She had proactively acquired her Real ID-compliant driver's license well before the May 7, 2026 federal deadline. This wasn't some last-minute scramble. This was a deliberate, informed decision. She knew that small star symbol on its face, visible right next to her photograph, was her non-negotiable key to domestic air travel. Without it, starting on that May 7th deadline, even flying from Los Angeles to Dallas would have become a bureaucratic nightmare. How many times have I witnessed individuals, usually around the age of 50 or 60-something, caught flat-footed at the ID verification podium, their standard state-issued identification no longer sufficient. They often hold up the line, confusion etched on their faces, completely unaware of a change announced years in advance. But Sarah didn't stop there. After carefully reviewing the privacy implications, a critical step that far too few travelers bother with, she opted into LAX's pilot biometric screening program. This choice, to voluntarily participate in a system that utilizes facial geometry for identity verification, wasn't made lightly. She weighed the trade-off: convenience versus data collection. For her, the efficiency gain, the ability to bypass longer conventional queues, was a worthwhile exchange. This is where the smarter traveler separates themselves from the pack. They understand that every convenience in modern travel often comes with a deeper look into your identity. Are you making that informed decision? Or are you simply reacting when the system demands more? I observed her approach the automated gate. There were no lines, just a clear pathway marked with bright, illuminated directional arrows. The system, utilizing her pre-submitted Advanced Passenger Information System, or APIS, and Passenger Name Record, or PNR, data, was already at work. This data, collected when you book your ticket and often updated during online check-in, includes crucial details like your full name, date of birth, passport information, and travel itinerary. It is a digital fingerprint of your journey, transmitted securely to various government agencies for pre-screening purposes. When Sarah stepped into the designated zone, the biometric scanner, a compact device mounted at eye level, quickly registered her facial geometry. The internal processors within the system instantaneously cross-referenced that live scan with her secure identity credentials, the digital copy of her real ID, linked to her APIS and PNR data. There was no hesitation, no red light, no need for a Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, officer to manually inspect her document. Instead, a serene green light flashed, accompanied by that subtle positive, signifying an immediate match. Her passage through the pre-security check was a matter of mere seconds. She walked through a metal detector, and her carry-on glided down the X-ray conveyor belt, untouched by the common delays. This success wasn't luck. It was a direct result of understanding the fundamental shift towards an identity-centric security model. We're moving beyond simply inspecting physical documents to verifying the person behind them, leveraging technology to do so with unparalleled speed and accuracy. It's a sophisticated dance between data, biometrics, and regulations. Think about it. What if all travelers approached air travel with this level of meticulousness? The bottlenecks, the frustrations, the missed connections, many could be mitigated. Sarah's meticulousness highlighted precisely how effective preparation works, solidifying her status as what I call a smarter traveler. It is not about circumventing the system. It is about working intelligently within its parameters. This experience, swift and seamless, wasn't just about getting through security faster.
It was about confidence. Confidence that your identity is correctly established, that your journey is recognized and cleared, and that you are an active participant in your own safety and efficiency. So, how can you emulate Sarah's success? 1. Understand Real ID requirements. Verify your state's driver's license or identification card is Real ID compliant. Look for the star symbol. If not, research the process to upgrade yours well in advance of any travel plans. The federal enforcement deadline for Real ID compliant identification is May 7, 2025, for general airport access, though some states might have their own nuanced deadlines. Always check the official Department of Homeland Security website for the most current information. 2. Explore biometric programs. Many major airports are piloting biometric screening for both domestic and international travel. Research which programs are available at your frequent airports. Understand the technology, the data privacy policies, and the opt-in, opt-out procedures. Make an informed decision that aligns with your comfort level regarding data sharing. 3. Maintain accurate traveler data. Ensure your Advanced Passenger Information System and passenger name record data is always up to date with your airline and any trusted traveler programs like TSA PreCheck or Global Entry. Small discrepancies, like a middle initial being missing or a name misspelled, can cause significant delays. 4. Stay informed. The world of aviation security is dynamic. Regulations change, technology evolves. Make it a habit to periodically check the Transportation Security Administration's website, as well as the Department of Homeland Security's official announcements. These are the authoritative sources. Don't rely solely on social media or anecdotal advice. Embracing these steps isn't about giving up your privacy blindly. It's about making an informed decision about how you navigate the complexities of modern air travel. It is about taking control of your journey, transforming potential friction points into seamless passages. Your preparation is your power. Remember that. Use it to ensure your next trip is not just a journey, but a masterclass in efficiency and confidence. That dull, unyielding thump, a sound I've logged more times than I care to remember, signaled the precise instant Mr. Alex Johnson's meticulously crafted travel plan collided with the stark wall of reality. It was August 3rd, 2027, and Alex, a sharp 22-year-old digital nomad, stood at gate B35 at Denver International Airport, attempting to board Delta Airlines Flight 310, destined for Orlando International. His plan, unfortunately, had a critical flaw, one based on a dangerous half-truth. He'd just glided through the Transportation Security Administration checkpoint, his full-sized toiletries untouched. Why? Because Denver, like an increasing number of major hubs across the nation, had fully implemented advanced imaging technology. These sophisticated computed tomography scanners, often referred to as CT scanners, allow officers to examine the contents of a bag with such intricate detail that in many cases, passengers no longer need to remove liquids or electronics. Alex had experienced this vanishing security experience, and he believed it meant a carte blanche for everything. He'd seen a viral travel hack video, one of those quick, flashy edits promising insider secrets that boldly proclaimed, "With new scanners, all rules are dead." This information delusion led him to a fundamental yet widespread misinterpretation.
He conflated the easing of liquid protocols with a complete abandonment of all airline-specific carry-on size and weight limits. He presented his bag to gate agent Davis, a veteran professional with years of navigating these exact scenarios. Davis, with a polite but firm demeanor that spoke volumes without needing a shout, directed Alex's attention to the carry-on sizer. This isn't just a metal box. It's an unforgiving arbiter of airline regulations. The bag, a popular backpack designed for roughly 2,400 cubic inches of gear, slid in, but didn't quite settle. It stuck, bulging slightly at the top, unable to retract the glowing red indicator.
That sharp, authoritative of the gate agent's scanner confirming the oversized tag resonated through the gate area, echoing Alex's growing frustration. His bag, beyond question, exceeded the airline's volumetric restrictions. And there it was. Not a security issue, not a dangerous item, but a simple failure to meet an operational requirement. The problem wasn't the contents. His liquids were indeed fine, cleared by the advanced technology he trusted. The issue was the container itself. Delta Airlines, like all carriers, operates under stringent load factor and baggage volume restrictions. These are critical protocols, entirely distinct from Transportation Security Administration's security mandates, and they govern everything from fuel efficiency to the structural integrity of the aircraft. Every cubic inch, every single pound of baggage contributes to the aircraft's overall weight and balance. An oversized bag might seem insignificant, but multiply that by dozens of passengers, and you start impacting everything from takeoff performance to overhead bin capacity. When a bag exceeds these limits at the gate, it triggers a chain reaction within the airline's departure control system. This is the sophisticated software that manages everything from passenger boarding to cargo loading. It flags oversized items, forcing a gate check procedure. This not only causes delays, but also incurs a fee. In Alex's case, an unexpected $40. That fee, mind you, isn't arbitrary. It covers the additional handling, the physical labor of moving the bag to the cargo hold, and the administrative burden. Alex's successful navigation of the liquid rules, thanks to advanced security technology, was entirely overshadowed by his failure to understand these broader operational procedures. He had mastered one variable while ignoring the rest of the equation. This is where the modern traveler often stumbles. We focus on the most publicized changes, the ones that capture headlines, like the relaxation of liquid rules. But we forget that the aviation landscape is a constantly shifting environment. The rules of the sky are never etched in stone, and while some restrictions ease, new ones, or often older, overlooked ones, are always in play, waiting to trip up the unprepared. It underscores a crucial lesson for anyone taking to the skies. That viral snippet you caught online, that casual post promising shortcuts? It's often a fractured truth, outdated, contextually incorrect, or worse, dangerously incomplete. The gate agent isn't there to penalize you. They are enforcing safety and operational standards that keep the system running smoothly for everyone. They are the final line of defense against chaos. So, how do you avoid Alex's predicament? How do you become the truly smarter traveler that the 21st century demands? Here's a practical checklist. 5 steps to ensure your next journey is seamless. First, verify airline-specific carry-on rules. Never assume.
Consult your chosen airline's official website for exact dimensions in inches and weight limits in pounds before you even start packing. That 2,400 cubic inch backpack might be perfectly fine for one carrier, but a strict no-go for another. Second, grasp the fundamental distinction between Transportation Security Administration and airline regulations. The TSA is solely focused on securing the airport and aircraft from threats. Airlines are responsible for passenger flow, operational efficiency, and critical load factors. They are two distinct sets of rules, each with entirely different objectives.
Third, invest in two invaluable yet inexpensive tools: a portable luggage scale and a soft measuring tape. They will quickly become your travel companions. Use them without fail. Measure, weigh, eliminate every shred of guesswork. Fourth, adopt the smallest common denominator approach to packing. If your itinerary involves multiple airlines or connecting flights, always adhere to the strictest carry-on limits across all your carriers. Being overly prepared is not just safer, it's smarter. Fifth, always operate under the assumption that rules can change. A regulation perfectly valid yesterday might have been updated this morning. Make it a habit to periodically check official airline websites and, yes, the Transportation Security Administration's website. These are your undeniable, authoritative sources of truth. The bottom line is this: in 2027, accurate information remains the most invaluable asset you can carry. But it must be accurate information, complete information, and verified information. Your preparation, as we've discussed before, is your power. Wield it wisely to ensure your next trip isn't just a journey, but a masterclass in efficiency and confidence. Free yourself from the jarring thump of a rejected bag or the sharp, authoritative beep of a gate agent's scanner. It's about comprehending all the rules, not just the ones that grab headlines. That, my friends, is how we truly master these skies, safely, smartly, and with unwavering confidence.